Hey guys, welcome to Scaling Beautifully, the podcast where we pull back the curtains on what it really takes to grow a thriving beauty business. I'm Haley, a corrective skin specialist and spa owner who's in the trenches every day with clients.
Hey, and I'm Adriana, a tax strategist who specializes in beauty businesses, helping pros like you master the money, tax, and legal side of growth. Together, we'll tackle the small, unglamorous tasks that build a strong foundation so you can stop hustling in circles and start scaling beautifully. Think of this as a resource for what happens after your client or customer leaves.
Okay, guys,
Hey
we're
guys.
talking about Black Friday, but really just like sales in general. And this probably isn't going to come out until closer to January just because we are trying to get a little ahead. But I wanted to save talking about Black Friday until after the fact. We didn't want to talk about it so close to Black Friday because trying to plan last minute for Black Friday is not going to lead you to success with your sales or your promos. So I wanted to talk to y'all about it now that we've ended because I did do things really differently this year. I do it differently every year because I'm always trying to like reinvent the wheel for how it went the year before and make it even better. And then next year, what I think would be fun is in Patreon, giving them a full like behind the scenes when we start prepping all the way in August, because we do start prepping about July and August. And we do some very strategic things to help make sure we have a really impactful Black Friday. And we were able to we doubled our sales this year from last year, like a full double. So that was really great. I had really high expectations for it, but we definitely don't discount everything, and I never discount services. So I kind of wanted to talk to y'all about being in the business, being the business owner, what I saw was successful. And then Adriana is going to give y'all some advice from like financial and tax side of things. That way y'all can have really strong sales in the future. But I also think of every little sale leading up in the year because Black Friday is my last sale of the year. I do three, maybe four, so like close to once a quarter. But every sale is prepping us for an even bigger and stronger Black Friday. So I kind of want to go over that as well. But also, like I was telling you before we started, I don't even think people understand why Black Friday was invented or what it was for. And I think when you know that, it helps shift your mindset. Black Friday is to get your business out of the red. When you're in the red, you're not profiting. Black Friday is where you offer deals to help pivot your business for the year and get your margins, your numbers back in black. So when you're black,
Right.
you're breaking even or profiting. When you're red, you're losing.
Also, Black Friday, with it being in the holiday season, a lot more people are willing to spend,
Yes.
whether it's for themselves or for gifts or whatever. So I feel like it's the perfect opportunity for a really good sale.
It is kinda like capitalism season,
It
uh,
is.
and it's just kind of the truth of the matter. I try not to think of it like that. I really focus my sale on being, "Okay, this is the time of year where my clients get to stock up or they get to purchase things that they've been eyeing for a while and they've been saving for, and now they're finally gonna get an opportunity to do that." So I really try to lead with that marketing approach instead of just being like, "Oh, I know y'all are ready to shop, come shop," you know? I do my sale also pretty differently with a lot of strategy on the back end. So I wanted to share that with y'all because number one, going aimlessly into a sale, like Adriana was telling me before the call, about how you felt like sometimes people use it as a panic strategy.
Mhm.
I see that a lot too on social media. And this year too, I also saw a lot of estheticians specifically make posts saying that like they don't even want to do Black Friday because of how much work it is and it's not that much of a profit. And clients will go purchase elsewhere because the deal is better. Just all these different things. So I know this year was very different. And I hate to say it's because of the economy, but like that one kind of is. I'm not a firm believer in ever saying like, "Oh, my books are slower because of the economy," because that's not ever the case. You just have to pivot your marketing strategy. But when it comes to sales, that can definitely show a very clear transition or like a clear decline in sales. However, with the economy being how it is, in my business by myself, I don't have any employees other than my virtual employee. We were able to double what we did last year, like a full double. And it was quite a bit of money, a lot of work. Don't get me wrong. I'm still trying to get the orders done. And today is what, Monday, December 8th. But like I was saying earlier, we start that all the way back in July or August. We always do a mid-year sale or like a Christmas in July sale because we are trying to get eyes on our business and we're trying to like kind of gain brownie points with Meta and Google. That way, whenever we go to do a Meta or a Google ad, we have far more traction and pull because we have a history with them instead of just trying to do that for the first time for Black Friday. But we're also collecting those emails at that sale. And I said I do like 3 to 4 sales a year. I saved the biggest discount for Black Friday. Also, too, thinking about what discount works for your business and the lines you work with. Not every line allows you to do whatever discount you want. They have a max, and also none of the lines are the same. So you have to think about how you're going to structure that sale in. Are you going to go with the lowest discount? That way it's the same across the board. If one brand allows 10 and one brand allows 20, are you just going to do everything at 10 to keep it safe? Or are you going to strategize things on your website and in person so that you can have line A is 10, line B is 20, line C is 15. That way you can keep it differently, but making sure first that you're compliant with the brands you work with because we had a mishap on our website just due to traffic numbers. Most websites went down on Black Friday as well, like Shopify. Third-party shipping like Pirate Ship was also down for many hours. Our Flex was down, which allows FSA and HSA payments. I get asked a lot who we use for that. We use a company called Flex. They were down as well for an entire 24 hours. We got a warning from one of our brands because we have like a third party locking mechanism on one of our sites to keep one of our brands private, which is per their policy. It malfunctioned on Black Friday due to traffic and opened up. So we ended up getting a warning from them. Like they had eyes on us and caught it very quickly. I'm sure they have a whole staff that monitors that type of stuff, you know? So making sure you're compliant with your brands because it is scary to get a warning like that. But this prep, I mean, we start this in July. We don't look at it come November 1st or come closer to Halloween
Right.
because from July to November, those people who purchase in July are probably ready to purchase again. So, and then we are doing regular emails every month, like at least two of them about product highlights, products that we think would benefit the mass majority, and talk about and we definitely do not just copy and paste the brand's information. I see that so much. And I'll get in an esthetician's email and I'll open it up and I'm like, oh, they just copied and pasted this from the website themselves instead of like trying to take the approach like they're talking to their clients. So we are also all year long as part of our Black Friday prep for every sale, to be honest. We're sending out at least 2 emails a month highlighting product. And I'm doing that same thing on social media, but amplified. I'm talking about products nearly every other day. I'm talking about the importance of the products, how to use them. I'm really trying to lead with having an educated consumer, not just a consumer. I'm not putting it out there so you could purchase. I want you to feel really confident with that purchase. So I always take that approach. And we put in the email and on social media exactly how I would talk about it to a client in person. That way it feels very personable and like you have somebody in your corner there with you, helping you on your journey. I'm not just copying and pasting the ingredients and the little description from the brand itself and sending it out, being like, hey, here's the link, please buy this. So taking that approach helps a ton too, because we're regularly all year long getting traffic to our site and gaining new eyes, even if they don't purchase something, and gaining new subscribers to our email marketing. Email marketing really changed the game for my business and all of my sales. If you're not already doing email marketing, it's very low cost for your business, and I'm sure we have an affiliate link.
So
Yeah,
we'll put it in the show notes.
we can do that. That
Um,
way y'all can save a
mhm.
little money starting out, but it's very inexpensive. I wanna say less than $30 a month.
Yeah.
And you get
And Float
unlimited
is
email.
amazing. Yeah. Well, they are changing their structure. I don't know when it's going to be in effect, but it's still very affordable compared to other email marketing. And I love it. I personally use it for Budgetly, and I know we're using it for Scaling Beautifully. And I love
Mhm.
Flowdesk. They make it so easy. And I
It's
know
very
when it
user
comes
friendly.
to email, yes. And when it comes to email marketing, guys, it's not something that's going to grow overnight. You have to nurture it and you have to be consistent and don't give up. There's been so many businesses that I've worked with that have given up in email marketing, but and I feel like you probably hear this in like a lot of other, business podcasts or marketing podcasts is, email list, email list, email list. And honestly, that's where it's at.
Well, also too, like, what if social media goes down? Instagram glitches like
Mhm.
every quarter and is not usable for like a full day. You can get hacked, you can get banned. There's so many different things that can happen to where you lose your social media. So I know if I were to lose my social media, my business would be just fine because I have such a strong social media or a strong email marketing
Email.
campaign
Mhm.
going all times. Also too, you made me think of something with email marketing and I almost forgot. It should be something that is routine in your business as your regular tasks. It shouldn't be like, oh, I sent out this treatment with a link to book and nobody did it, so I'm not going to do it again. Or I sent out this product with a link to purchase and nobody purchased, so I'm not going to do it again. We do also try to have like an 80-20 ratio to like product education emails and treatment education emails where the goal is to lead them to purchase or book. And then we have like a 20% of just nurturing education where we're just trying to give helpful information that doesn't require them to buy or book anything. And I think that's really important as well. We do also prioritize some email exclusive things. Like for Black Friday, we allow them to shop a full 24 hours early before everybody else so that hopefully we could fulfill their order first or things don't go out of stock or whatever it may be. And we do that through email. So email exclusive for them being subscribed to our email marketing. We also launch treatments first to them on email marketing before we talk about it on social media. We do more exclusive things. We're about to do a Google review raffle that will only be through our email marketing as well. So email marketing is amazing, but you really need to see it as a daily task, not like, oh, I'm going to send this one out and see an instant return, because that's not always what happens. People need to see things like, what was it, 6 to 8 times before they decide to pull the trigger.
Mhm.
So you need to be very consistent. In my business, we send 2 emails every week. And we do them on the same day every week around the same time. It's very routine because we're kind of conditioning our clients to know that that email is coming. I have a full email marketing course, which we made very as inexpensive as we could with templates and some other things where I go through what a good starting email marketing campaign looks like, and you can just grow it from there. Also, too, Adriana, because we're about to launch the Scaling Beautifully website, those courses are now going to be over there for y'all. So once we have that, we'll make sure to link it. That way, y'all only have to go to one place. But
Yeah.
really focusing on email marketing, and then also that same nurturing you're putting into email marketing, you need to be putting into your social media. And don't
Mhm.
overcomplicate it. You can make a post and your email and your story all be about the same topic. Now your audience is seeing it 2 to 3 times out of the 6 to 8. They're more likely to convert much quicker if you're keeping it consistent. You don't have to think of an idea for your post, then think of a new idea for your story, and then think of a third idea for your email. It can all be the same. Make your email the most detailed, make your post the second most detailed, and make your story the most like eye catching, hook driven that kind of brings the eyes to your page and gets them to click on things. Don't overcomplicate it. But that's something we do all year long, including talking about product on social media. I'm talking about products or answering product questions or trying to give a solution with product almost every other day. And you could do that through a ton of different topics. It could just be what inventory came in and talking about your client's favorites. It could be acne favorites, pigmentation favorites, aging favorites, tinted SPF favorites, home care treatments always do really well. Neck and eye products always do really well. The enhancement products like neck, eye, face mask, lip products, LED devices, those always perform the best because they're like a fun little treat or gift. Those emails always do the best. Those posts, when we talk about those products, always convert to the most shoppers. But I'm steady doing that every other day. I have question boxes up. I'm answering questions. I'll pull questions from my DMs, from my text message. I'll answer those. I'm constantly on it just as if a client was here in person asking me about product. I never just sit around and I'm like, oh, I hope people shop with me. I constantly share my website and my link so people know to click on it. I have seen too a lot of stuff saying that, like, oh, you shouldn't put your link in Instagram because they're less likely to show your story. I do think there's like a little bit of truth in that because I will notice when I share a link versus when I don't, my views are lower. However, it doesn't really matter to me because we have such a strong email marketing campaign going with, I don't know, upwards of maybe close to 2,000 people in it. Plus, the same post is going across multiple social media sites, and we do text marketing as well. I'm not really worried about getting less views on just Instagram because Instagram's just one piece of the puzzle. So don't really let those little algorithm changes scare you and deter you. Stick with your game plan because it's going to work, especially the more consistent you are with it. And then when it comes to picking Black Friday deals itself, let me tell you first what I hate because it doesn't work. Because I've done it and it doesn't work. Because I see other estheticians do it and it doesn't work. It's the top thing talked about in the esthetician support groups on Facebook is drastically cutting the cost on services, especially for packages of like two or three. I will see people be like, buy two, get one free, or buy three, get 50% off. That is insane. Think about it like this. So, like, once they purchase it at the end of November, maybe they use it they use one by December, January, and February, but you're having to manage that money across 3 months. So when they come in December, January, February, you're not actually getting paid again. You have to make sure that you're really good at budgeting that income that you got. Same with gift cards. A lot of people do give gift cards, but they will do like spend 100, get 50, spend 200, get 100. Well, now you're still not getting paid for that time, and you have to budget that across however long it takes. You also need to know, I was going to ask you, Adriana, is this state or federal? I always just look at what my state says because that's like the safest bet if I don't know. But specifically here in Texas, gift cards don't expire. And a
Yeah.
package is almost considered a gift card and they do not expire. So I do have it limited on my website where it says you have to use your package within 6 months. But when you look it up, because my assistant was like, maybe look it up to make sure, because she's in a different state. And so sometimes her laws are different than mine here in Texas. So we're always double checking just to make sure we're on the same page.
So I just checked, and it says gift cards can expire in Texas, but federal law requires they be valid for at least 5 years,
Yeah.
um, which is crazy. So um, keep that in mind too, guys, because when we are making these deals or doing these deals, we don't think of these things, you know? So that's something that you need to make sure that you are um, following like the federal or state law. And every state is different, just like Haley said to you.
So I always look because there will be clients who know the law, just especially based on their career. So you never want to get yourself in a situation where you're being called out for that. So I definitely can see how doing a gift card promo, like get $50 for every $100 spent. So you spend $100, you get 150. But just remember, you're going to have to be budgeting that money for quite some time. I personally don't like doing gift cards for that exact reason. And just for the way I structure my business, I do not take one off clients. I turn people away daily, multiple people a day in most cases. I don't want to do an anniversary or birthday facial. And that's just my choice in my business because I am so booked with routine corrective clients that I don't want to jeopardize having an opening for them because I'm filling myself with one off clients who have found me on my slightly larger social media platform. So I also don't want to give out gift cards. I do gift cards, but I never really like advertise or talk about it because I don't want to be attracting that one off clientele who is going to get a gift card for their birthday or Christmas or their anniversary or whatever it may be, because I have never had a gift card client be a long-term loyal client.
Mhm.
They normally only want to spend what's on the gift card, which sometimes doesn't even cover the full cost of the service. And then they're not willing to purchase products to really meet their goals. Because again, I'm just corrective. I'm not experience or necessarily like relaxing. It is a relaxing experience, but that's not the goal. And they have the expectation because I work in corrections that they are going to be getting corrections, but they are not holding themselves accountable to the commitment that my other clients take on in order to reach that goal, if that makes sense.
Totally
So,
does. I want to also butt in a little bit here. So, guys, this is what worked for Haley. Now, if you do run more of like a luxury spa to where it's more relaxive and, like, then gift cards may be for you. But Haley, and I just want to disclose this, she's just talking about her business and her
Right.
experience. And she is a solo esthetician to where she doesn't have any employees. So, this is why she's so structured on what she wants to do and who she wants to help. I just wanted to throw that out there, just a little disclosure.
Yeah, my setup is very different, and sometimes it can be a turn off to other estheticians or to new clients, and that's totally fine because I want to enjoy what I do, and the knowledge and all the extras that I'm giving as far as what we can achieve correction wise is not appreciated by a one-off client. So I just limit myself. I will occasionally take a one-off client if it's a referral from my current clients, maybe their moms or their sisters. I will say though, if you're more of a luxury spa or a day spa or a relaxing experience, or even an esthetician who focuses more on massage, doing gift cards can be successful, but I really want you to aim financially to have 60% of your clients be a returning client. They're working towards a goal, even if it's just, oh, your state of stress has been reduced because you're coming on a schedule. You're coming every 4, 6, 8, 12 weeks. Prioritizing that time for yourself. We're doing lymphatic drainage so you're feeling better and you notice when you don't come, you don't feel better. I want you to still aim to have 60% of a returning clientele because you cannot work on the hamster wheel of constantly trying to attract new clients every month. It's just not going to happen. And I have a lot to say about marketing like that, which we're going to talk about in the next episode. And it all works, but it doesn't work 100% of the time. So I want you to really find a way to strategize in your business and keep that strategy in mind during Black Friday to have at least 60% of your clients being working towards a goal so that they are returning. And then let the other, what is the difference? Like 40% be a more one-off experience client who you give 110% on, and they're going to go recommend you to the world, and that's going to bring you new clients, and you're going to work to retain at least 60% of them regularly. My approach is different, but it works and it works very well. Is every client, potential client that comes to me happy about that? No, but that's just part of business and that's how I want to operate mine. So just keep that in mind. And if you're trying to transition from relaxing to corrective, it is possible. So just keep in mind if you're going to do a really strong gift card promo, maybe limit yourself that you're not going to sell over however many 20, 50, 100, however much
Yeah.
your business is able to take on. Don't overdo yourself and then be left for several months with no regular income coming in because you're budgeting these gift cards.
Or instead of like doing, buy 100, get 50, that, because to me, that's like insane. I would do like buy
That's
100
so
and get,
popular though.
yeah, no, I'm just like, that's insane. So buy 100 and get like 20 or buy 100 and get 15, like, or something, because
Or
that
something
is better
like
than nothing.
I would say instead of I never like to give away monetary wise like money. I would
Hmm.
say add experience. So when you spend 100, get a free dermaplane at your next appointment or a free lip and eye perk from Hydrofacial or a free lip balm from whatever line I carry.
Right.
Something that adds experience and not just like money off because they will appreciate experience more than they even recognize the money off.
Or do
First,
something that doesn't gonna that or that's not really gonna cost you. Like if you implement massages, buy 100 and get, like a 10-minute massage or something.
yeah,
Something to where, yeah,
a no-cost buccal add-on, which is the
exactly.
integral mouth massage.
Mhm.
They're gonna, because like me personally, would I recognize off the jump $20 to $50 missing from my bank account? Probably not. So when I
Mhm.
come in and I get $50 off, am I gonna really recognize or appreciate it? No. But if I get to do dermaplaning for the first time and I just love how smooth and clear and bright my skin is and my makeup applies later, that is gonna resonate so much further with me and that I'm going to remember that so much more and appreciate that so much more than just like 20 or $50 that I really wouldn't have recognized in the first place, you know? So try to think of it like that when you're giving back on Black Friday. Also, too, you're not here to compete with big brands. You're not Walmart, you're not Target, you're not Sephora, whoever. Even Sephora is very limited on their sales. They do like two a year and it's very exclusive and you have to be ranked and all these other things. try to take that exclusive approach with your business. You don't have to compete. The biggest thing in our industry is Omnilux, which I work with Omnilux, and I never aim to compete with Omnilux, but I do try to out strategize them. And I did a really good job this year. We sold, I want to say, 20 to 25 Omniluxes. We did really good this year with it, and it was because I followed their sale from last year and I remember exactly what they did, and I wrote it down in my calendar, like what day it launched, what percentage they did, how many emails they sent out, and I replicated that 4 days early, 4 days before they got to it, and I gave 5% more and free shipping. And that helped me. A lot of my clients was like, "Oh, I was seeing theirs because I was getting daily emails and I only got 2 emails from you, but I felt like yours was much more impactful." And they earn
Right.
points on my website,
Hmm.
Shopify, and they have a lot of platforms that allow you to earn points towards money off your next purchase. And we use Flex to allow them to purchase with HSA FSA. So we do a lot to try to not necessarily compete with the big brands, but have more experience for the client that they're going to appreciate and remember more than their one-time purchase with the big brand that they have no real connection with, you know?
Right.
So keep that in mind as well. I see a lot of estheticians like panic put together their Black Friday because they're like, oh my God, Omnilux launched 2 weeks early. And now this one's launching and Glymet's launching and this and that. And now this big esthetician, she's going to get all my orders. And then I saw people making posts too that were like, you need to remember that you should be purchasing from the person who like curated your routine, which I wholeheartedly agree with. And I understand the marketing approach there, but it was a little bit of a turnoff to see it thinking from a client's standpoint. And I also did something very similar, but I tweaked the delivery quite a bit. So it was more like, remember when shopping small, we appreciate your order so much more than a big brand would. We are regular people, moms,
Mhm.
regular women working hard trying to fulfill our dreams. So like your order is far more appreciated with us. And we try to give back in so many ways by doing the point system, allowing flex, all these other things. That approach is so much more warm and softened than almost like this, oh, I'm pissy and you need to be purchasing with me because it's so rude of you to purchase elsewhere. So I think tweaking
It's
that
all
approach
about the delivery.
I think that approach would help a lot too, because I saw that a lot this year, like across
Mhm.
the board. And I totally resonate with
Mhm.
what they were saying. I even shared a few of them, and then I would follow up by saying my take on it. And I feel like having that more genuine approach and being like, please just remember I'm an everyday person like you, really I'm out here trying to do the most, trying to give you a discount, appreciating every little purchase. I think that's going to get you further than the other strategy that I saw this year.
Mhm.
So I really wanted to bring that up as well. Try to think about that delivery. And if you were watching that same video from your hair girl, would you be like, oh, okay, I get it? Or would you be like, girl, like
Mhm.
that needed a little bit of work?
Yeah, no, it's all about delivery. I feel like everything is all about delivery. And I think we've talked about this before in the past too. Like, whenever it comes to communication, we just want to make sure that it's delivered right. And like, yeah, you could definitely be upset, but there's always ways on how to communicate with the client.
Yeah, I get upset at my business
Hmm.
every day. It's not
Yeah,
easy. It's not fun.
me
I literally
too.
called
Yeah,
Adriana this morning, was
yeah.
like, I'm like, I don't even know if she's going to answer. I'm just blind calling. And I was like, I'm just so upset about something. And it has to do with my Black Friday sale, which we're going to talk about some of the struggles I had this year on Black Friday sale and how we overcame them over on Patreon. I'm going to give y'all all the details, like
The
everything.
tea. Yeah.
So yeah, the tea. Okay, guys, I had to take a break for a second, but now we're back. So I got a little sidetracked. But I was telling y'all about the marketing strategy can use a little bit of help, and making sure you're utilizing email marketing and then also text marketing if you have it. We try, and it's very strategic. Like I send an email out with a countdown, I want to say about 3 days before. I do also want to have a follow up episode with Jessica, my assistant, to really go into ads and other things like that because that is her specialty. That way we can ask her some questions and have from this episode. So make sure you'll leave y'all's questions for my assistant Jessica. She is just like a genius on the back end. So I want to have like a three-way call with her so we can ask her some of those things about the ads because I can only give you up to my knowledge. I do have her working in my corner as a teammate in my business to make sure it's successful. But we do an email about 3 days before with a countdown, and I start telling clients in person 2 days before. What I thought about doing next year when we do our mid-year sale in July is actually putting a little postcard flyer. So I normally do these, and I'll talk about it in a minute, my thank you cards. But I was thinking about making a smaller business card one and say, make sure to come back on November, whatever day we decide to do it for our biggest sale of the year, Black Friday, just so we're not only emailing them and texting them, but they also got something personal in their order in July. That just increases the likelihood that they're going to come back and shop with us. But we do the emails before, we do the emails when it launches. We do an email every day while the sale is live, answering product questions and giving as much product knowledge as possible, home care treatments as possible. And we have created quite a few pages on my website as well where you can shop by concern. You can shop my own personal routine. Your clients want to know what you are using. You're the expert that they love, that they think is so beautiful and gorgeous and has their dream skin, dream hair, dream nails, whatever it may be. They want to know what you're personally doing. I have a whole page for home care treatment. So treatments clients or potential clients, shoppers can do from home. So we will have emails about all those different tabs and different things that they can shop. We do a text when the sale goes live, and we do a text 24 hours before it closes. We also do an email 24 hours before it closes, 12 hours before it closes, and 3 to 6 hours before it closes. That way, nobody can say they didn't know it was about to end. We do also do some safeguards with our Black Friday, so I wanted to mention those. Some safeguards in my Black Friday, which I will be honest are not perfectly flawless, and this is what I was going to talk about in Patreon because we did have a few hiccups, and I want to tell you how I fixed those and overcame those and how we're going to make sure they don't happen next year. But I am one person. I don't have any employees. And so I am packing all these orders by myself. We got over, I don't know the exact number. I want to say it was like a tad bit over 260 orders on top of me having a fully booked week of appointments. So I was here quite a bit before and after working, and I know a lot of small business owners are not down for that. However, it's a once a year sacrifice, so I don't mind doing it. And we've talked about things with my assistant for next year, maybe like flying her out for that week to help me. Again, these are like the things we had to troubleshoot and we'll be able to overcome next year. But I let everybody know like at least 6 times on my website while they were shopping with me that this was going to be a 2 week turnaround. It was not going to go out in 48 hours like I typically do. It was going to take up to 2 weeks. And it's only been a week since our sale ended. Today is the 1 week mark. I have about 15 orders left to pack that I had to wait on the inventory to come in. So we emailed those people and I personally texted all those people to let them know, hey, thank you for your order. I'm still waiting on inventory. Your item was pre-order because it ran out of stock during the sale. As soon as it's in, you're going to get your email with the tracking information. And about 99% of them were like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. I know Black Friday's crazy. Like, totally fine, whatever. There were a few people that were upset with that, and that's what we'll talk about in Patreon, how I overcame that. And all of them worked out great except for one. So one person out of 260 something orders, I think that's pretty good odds. But then two,
Definitely.
yeah, we put everywhere that we were marketing, we put in there it was going to be a 2 week turnaround in the emails, the text messages, the social media. We had pop-ups on the website, banner on the website. It said it at checkout. There was a whole landing page on social media, on our website. Everywhere. It let you know it was going to be a 2 week turnaround. So it is okay to do something like that. And I just put a brief explanation that instead of making y'all fight for the limited stock we have, we open up the stock so most things become pre-order. That way you still get a discount even if we sell out quickly. Most people are really appreciative of that, and that's part of our strategy as well. Or you could just make your wholesale pre-order. If you're going to do a full sell pre-order, I would limit it to maybe only 3 to 4 days because you can't do your inventory until every order's been submitted. So on that third to fourth day, when you close it out, you run your reports, you see, okay, I need 15 of this, 30 of this, and you can order all of that. But I would also overdo the wait period and say, give me up to 2 weeks, just because you don't know if your orders are going to be delayed. I literally walked in this morning and got like a missed delivery notification for one of my orders. So I was like, oh, hell, now they're going to have to do it tomorrow. So annoying. So you never know when these little hiccups are going to happen. I will have everything done in a week and a half, but I always just ask for 2 weeks. And then I make sure to have really good communication with those people so they know. I also, too, when I'm telling my clients 2 weeks beforehand, before the sale goes live in person at their appointments, I always make sure to let them know if you have questions about your routine or it gets colder during that time here in Texas. We don't ever really know when it's going to get cold. It just kind of happens overnight. And it's like a almost 50-degree drop in one day. So my client's skin freaks out near that time. I always tell them, please text me if anything changes with your skin and we will re-talk about your routine. So I make sure to schedule myself a little bit of off time, a half day or something during that sale so that I could answer all of those questions. Being really communicative and always trying to give a solution approach instead of a this is if you have skin you need this, buy it. I hate seeing that. I don't like seeing if you have skin you need this. Everybody and their mom and this. I'm like, no, if you feel dry or dull or chapped, these are three options that you can do to overcome that. I'm trying to give you a solution to your concern or problem, and that is going to lead you to be a confident consumer, but also a really informed consumer that appreciates what they're purchasing, and the likelihood of you coming back to repurchase is high. And then so I make sure to schedule myself time for that. And then in their order, I order specific thank you cards for Black Friday, and they have a special one-time use discount code on it. This one doesn't have it. This one just talks about our points program. But all of the Black Friday orders get an additional 10% off on their next order. That's another great strategy because I had 260 people. If just 20-30% of those people use that 10% off code, that's still going to be really good traffic to my website that I wouldn't typically have because these were first time most of them were first time shoppers that weren't my clients. So that's just even more strategy to try to amplify the most out of your Black Friday sale and prep ahead of time. So next year, I really want to do that little business card that says, please come back in November or start keeping an eye out in November for our biggest sale of the year. We also, very last minute, my birthday and my anniversary for my business is in September. So we threw in a 2 day, just 48-hour quick sale in September to play around with Meta and Google ads for the first time, which is really important. And we'll have Jessica come on and talk a little bit more about this the next time we record. So if y'all have specific questions for her, make sure you leave them because she is just a wealth of knowledge. But she was like, hey, we should try to do like a test ad beforehand. So, like, is there anything coming up before Black Friday? And I was like, well, I don't typically put sales together last minute, but let's do like birthday slash business anniversary. And that helped a lot us learn what did and didn't work for our Google ad, and also to just get traction and get some history going with Meta and Google because they're all algorithms. Like, the more you utilize them, the more they learn about you and the more they'll push you. So that was really helpful too. And we only ran it for 48 hours and we let the email people have an additional day after it closed to purchase with the code. So we were really strategic about it as well. And that helped us really push because we doubled our Black Friday numbers, which is crazy. I can't wait to be done with them, to be honest. Like, this is a once a year sacrifice, but it is like, I feel like I'm running a marathon until December 24th. Like, I can't stop running. I have to get all of this finished. But it is really beneficial in business. I will say the profit margin is lower because you're doing a sale. And if it's a pre-order, you have to put up a lot of money to get that inventory in. So just be realistic with yourself, knowing if you're doing a discount 10 to 20 to 25% off, and maybe you're doing some type of free shipping over a certain expenditure threshold, like maybe 200, 250, 150. So now you're also coming out of the cost for shipping. Are you going to buy any marketing materials? Are you going to spend any money on ads? Are you going to pay somebody to come help you pack the orders? Are you going to buy shipping supplies? All of that is taken into account. So I will be honest, is the profit margin sky high? No. However, that's when you now need to think of strategy in business. What is this Black Friday for? What is your red in business that you could bring to black from the profit made? So for me, what was really important was investing in my 401k, I need to match and put into my employee's 401k. And then realistically, I would like to pay off one of my machines that I'm financing. I'm currently financing two. I would like to go into 2026 and only finance one. So I would like to get one of my machines out of the red and paid off in the black from Black Friday. So am I going on a vacation from my Black Friday sale? No. Am I giving myself a raise from my Black Friday sale? No, but I am using it to reposition my business in a healthy way. Oh, and I'm
Right.
doing Angel Tree. I do Angel Tree from Black Friday every year.
I completely agree with you. Yes, and we're not saying that there's going to be like no profit because yes, you'll definitely get a profit off of Black Friday for sure, but it's not. Um, we want you to also think of that profit. Okay, well, am I going to reinvest it in the business? What am I going to do then? Right. But yeah, no, I completely agree.
Like with that, should you take more education? Can you
Mhm.
max out your investments like in yourself, meaning like your 401k or what other investments you may have set up? Can you pay off your student loans with your business? Most of us had to go to school for our license or whatever. When I want you to think of Black Friday, what it's intended for to get your business out of the red and back in black, instead of like, oh, I'm going to give myself a 10K raise. That's not necessarily the best marketing move. Like, let's save the other sales during the year for things like that. But investing back first, specifically for Black Friday, because it could be life changing for businesses. It is a consumerism heavy season. And so I hate to say capitalize on that, but do it very strategically to reposition your business in the best way possible moving forward. I did also want to say, too, because we kind of touched on it on gift cards. I'm not a big proponent of service packages for the same reasons as gift cards. I do offer service packages at a light discount, and I capped the discount on all of them. So you pretty much get the same amount of money off each package, um, regardless of what the total price is. And I do have a few people buy those on Black Friday. However, I do not discount them any further than where they are currently discounted. I want to say it's like a 10% discount because does it make sense for me as one person to have to make that last for several months? Say I had 5 to 8 other girls working for me, employees, and they were all seeing people at the same time, that a few of us were trying to work through packages, that makes more sense than me being one person where nobody else is generating income while I'm with a client who's trying to utilize all of their
Right.
packaged appointments. So I would just
Right.
say be strategic with that. If you're a solo person, give yourself a cap. Maybe I'm only going to sell 10 packages. The first 10 are going to be discounted. I always use the approach when I'm doing mentoring that I don't want you to just throw this sale at the wall and hope it sticks. I want you to be super strategic with it and give yourself a limit.
So, like, honestly, this whole time, Haley, that you've been talking, I'm just like, oh my gosh, it's a lot of work. Whoever is listening, I'm sure they're going to be like, oh my gosh. But just kind of touching up on what Haley has been saying, Black Friday is not something that you should be winging. Black Friday is a strategy. And if you do it right, it can make a good amount of money without really killing your margin or even your sanity, right? But whenever Haley called me this morning, I'm just like, girl, you're going to take a vacation because you're going to burn yourself out. Like, you're going to burn yourself out if
Yeah.
you're not going to take a vacation. Because that's a lot of orders, 260 in like a 2 week period. That's insane.
And I'm fully booked with 8 to 9 clients every day I'm
And then
here.
you're still a
So,
mom and you're still a wife. But like she said, she, I'm like, she's getting really motivated. And I could tell by like the things that she wants to accomplish with the Black Friday outcome. And she, just like she said earlier, it's like a one time thing a year. It doesn't happen all the time. So she's just sacrificing a little bit now to get to where she wants to be later.
yeah, I also try to be really grateful about it too. Number one, I do have a
Mhm.
good support system with my husband. He knows that I am not available November through December, and I take off like December 24th through January 2nd, something like that. A
Yeah.
pretty long time, like a week and a half to spend time with my family and him because from the start of November through ending in December, it is just jam packed. And for me personally, when I come back in January, I am jam packed with clients again. I don't
Mhm.
typically level back out to a reasonable pace until February or March. I really want everybody's goal in 2026 to be diversifying your income as much as possible because when you own your own business, there is no limit to how many streams of income you can have, how much money you can make, all these different things. But I know that kind of hearing my experience with Black Friday, especially when we talk about on Patreon some of the more in detail issues I had with some of it, it can seem kind of scary. But again, every year I meet with my assistant and I'm like, how can we make this better? And we already talked about next year for Thanksgiving. She's just going to be coming out here. She also, though, too, before anybody comes for me, she does not celebrate Thanksgiving because of her like ethnic background. So she is totally on board doing a fun trip and coming out here to help me. We're going to do content. She hasn't been out here to Texas. I'm going to take her and her kid around. I don't know if her second kid would come. He's in college, but her younger son, and he's going to have so much fun with our boys. It'll be like a whole thing. I'm not just going to work her to death over the holidays, and she will be getting time off as compensation for that. But to just make it smoother for our customer experience, I want my business to grow every year. So I have to constantly pivot things. Okay, I got so many orders. Realistically, I can't keep up with it myself. I've been getting here at 5 a.m. for the past week to pack orders and staying an hour late. That's not realistic. Whereas I would rather sacrifice a plane ticket and just fly her ass out here and have her help me and make it this fun thing and us both take off for a half week afterwards in order to compensate for that. So I don't want y'all to be scared being like, oh, I don't want that capacity to happen. That doesn't have to be your goal, but I want you, that's why I was saying maybe cap yourself on packages, cap yourself on products. Even if you do a pre-order, maybe you don't want to have to order more than 20 or 30 of everything. So cap your inventory in your website to that 20 or 30. And once that sells out, it sells out. You can definitely cap yourself. You are in charge of your own business. So don't act like you're not, or don't think that you're not. We are just trying to give you some foundational things so that you can build your business from there, or you know what is possible from two like regular people who are just out here doing it every day.
Yeah. Okay, so I kind of want to pivot a little bit and talk about like the money side of Black Friday. When it comes to Black Friday, I'm going to start with the biggest truth. More sales don't mean more profit, right? It all depends on how you're positioning yourself.
I'm
So,
so glad you said that.
yeah, yeah. And here's what usually happens. People think that if you discount or if I discount a service, I'm going to attract more clients. But what they don't really realize is that discounts shrink the margin and can even lead to working for less than minimum wage once you factor in time, materials, and overhead. Before you run a sale, you want to know what your profit margin is and how much you actually make after all costs, right? So this is where it's very, very important to keep up with not only like your bookkeeping, but like reports, like your reports in the system, how much you're truly spending for each, service, product, whatever. And I always do tell my clients, don't discount until you know your numbers. Otherwise, you could be filling your schedule, but draining your bank account, right? Because the more clients you get, essentially the more you tend to spend as a business, because Black Friday it's absolutely not the time to slap just 20% off everything because you saw someone else do it, right? You need
Right.
to do what's best for your business. And then I know Haley touched on this. You want to add value instead of discounting. You want to also reward your loyal client. I'm always going to
Yes.
forever say that I would rather reward my loyal client than price shoppers, because that's what it is during Black Friday too. Like a lot of people are just shopping around for prices or what kind of deals they're going to get, and it's going to be like one and done.
Yep.
And you want to make sure you have good client retention. So make your discount work for your business and not against it. Okay. Now, another thing that we don't really think about come Black Friday, because we're usually always thinking about like sales and, you know, marketing and all of that. But I want you to keep in mind your cash flow. So even if you bring in more money during Black Friday, remember that you're going to owe taxes on that income. You may have higher costs in product restocks or supplies because it's going to be more than your usual. Also, so you want to set aside a percentage of what you earn for taxes and don't spend all of your sale revenue right away. So
Right.
Haley has a plan of what she wants to do with her profit. However, her and we discuss and we meet every single month, and she knows exactly how much she needs to be saving for taxes. Aside from that, we are also doing like tax planning strategies to lower her tax liability, which is why she's really big on contributing into her retirement account and like doing all these other things that we talk about. So everything that like, because I know earlier Haley was just like, oh, I want to do this, and this. And she can, because she has a plan and we're saving for taxes, and she's on top of these things. So I need you guys to also be on top of these things because I don't want tax season to come. And because you received such a big lump sum during Black Friday, you're going to be like, what the hell? Now I owe X amount, right? Or thousands of dollars and didn't plan for it. Okay. So I know it's super exciting to see those sales come in, but make sure that you have that smart money management.
I was going to say too, a few things. Even though I made double my profit from last year or double the revenue from last year, I made that money the end of November, early December. We will not be allocating those funds anywhere until January.
Right.
Whenever we have our meeting to talk about how much I should be putting into my 401k and I need to match that same percentage for my employee, it's most important to me to make sure that I give her what is fairly hers before I'm like, okay, I really want to pay off one of my machines. So whatever it's left will then pay off my machine. We'll make sure that I'm good from angel tree shopping within my business and everything I do in my community this time of year. And then we'll decide if there was anything left over that I could put into a high yield savings for my business. Do I want to invest in something new or do I want to give myself a little raise for being here every day at 5 a.m.? Also, to you guys with sales for Black Friday, you don't have to do everything. You don't even have to do one at all. I did see quite a few estheticians saying, I don't prioritize a clientele who's interested in a sale or who seeks out a sale. So that just doesn't align with me. That's fine too. And that works great for that type of business structure. So you don't even have to have one. But if you want to do your Black Friday more simple, dip your toe in, you can just do product. You can just do service packages. You could just do gift cards. You don't have to do everything. Trying to take on everything by yourself the first year or two for Black Friday is scary. Start with one thing that you think is going to benefit your clients the most. Because remember to have a mindset that we are doing this to benefit and give back to our client. If you are in it just to make a bunch of money, they're going to be able to see through that. So also make sure you have the right marketing approach and the right mindset behind it. That'll get you much further if you're going about that the right way and thinking client experience and client word of mouth first. But just start with one that you think would benefit them the most. And then the next year, add the second one and do two. And then the next year, do all three. You don't have to do everything that everybody else is doing. And also know and tell yourself, you're not competing with other estheticians. You want to make sure that you're aligning yourself with clientele who appreciates you and everything that you do, not a clientele that's going to jump ship and go on to the next person as soon as they find a better deal. And that kind of goes into my last thing. I do not reward new customers or clients. I reward my loyal customers and clients. That's why I'm not very big on doing gift cards or service packages from the jump because I don't want to attract a bargain shopper because a bargain shopper is not there to stay. I want to prioritize an organic clientele who found me organically, who trusts me, believes in what I do, and is here for the long haul. So please don't just try to sell yourself out or sell your business out at Black Friday because you feel like you're competing with everybody. That whole mindset needs to shift drastically.
Actually, as a service-based business, I didn't do a Black Friday sale this year. I usually do, but I didn't do one this year. Yeah, because I'm like, okay, I've noticed, and this is my next thing that I'm going to talk about is tracking results. And I noticed that the people who would do my Black Friday, like I would have a Black Friday deal for cleanup, and they would just do the cleanup and they wouldn't want a monthly retainer. So they were just kind of looking forward to the cleanup instead of booking with me and working with me throughout the year. They just wanted something quick, something, and I was just like, okay, I want to help you throughout the year to help you meet goals because I don't want you just coming to me at the end of the year, just wanting cleanups and not knowing your numbers throughout the year. I want you to grow, to succeed. And that's part of it. You need to know your numbers, right? So you don't have to do one. And I'm just like, it didn't really affect me. I'm going to do like a small end of year spell, but that's it. I'm not going to do like anything crazy. Um, and it's perfectly fine. So you don't have to do a Black Friday sale if you don't want to. So like you want to stay authentic when you market. You want your audience to trust you. You want your like following and your audience, the people that you're marketing to, like to align with your brand and your value. I feel like that's going to help you even like close the sale a little bit better, right? And
Right.
just get those clients, those returning clients. But I want to touch on tracking results. So I'm Guys, I'm begging y'all, please track results. I know that not a lot of us want to or don't know how, but just track, like take notes. Haley was taking notes of like her competitor, right? I'm like doing quotes for those who are just listening, but like her competitors and or like the bigger brands. She took notes on how they ran their sales and like, like the big companies and stuff. And she just said she kind of out strategized them. And so you want to take notes, you want to write down what worked, what didn't work, and how much you actually profited. Was it worth the time and effort? Did it attract your ideal client? Like you want to track down your total revenue versus total profit, the service that sold best, the cost of supplies during the sale, and what to keep or what to change next year. So you want to track it so you can repeat next year what worked, right? Or what didn't work. You don't want to repeat that. So make sure that you track everything so you could have a better Black Friday sale.
Or even just your next sale of the year. We are doing
Yeah.
a sale first quarter. We always do a Valentine's Day sale. I already know what I want to do differently. I already know how many emails I want to send out. I already have all of that pre-planned out. Part of business is working strategically instead of working scared or panicked. Also, too, I am in all the email marketing for all the brands I work with, and they send emails out like daily or every other day. It's so many. So I sit there and I read all of them. And sometimes I will send them to my assistant and be like, okay, I love this portion of what they're saying. Like, how could we make this better in our next email about the same product? Do your research and spend that time. We are trying to build businesses that are here to last. So we're going to just keep saying like strategic. We want you to be strategic and we want you to have that plan and we want you to stick to it. Don't even question yourself. There was a few times during Black Friday this year because we did quite a few new things, which I'll break down in Patreon. And I was a little nervous because they were just new to me. I was out here like in the wild trying something different by myself. I kept telling my assistant, like, oh, I don't know. And she's like, you got to trust me or it's not going to work. So I'm like, okay. And like it ended up working really well because the first 2 days of our sale was very slow. I was like, oh no, this is not going to track the way that we anticipated. And then I let her make the tweaks that she wanted to that involved ads and things like that. And it really took off. And just some of my regular clients needed a little bit more time during this busy season. So we kind of extended my sale a little bit and that worked as well. But I'm trying to build a business that's here to last. I am not trying to fill myself with one-off clients who just got a good deal on Black Friday and have no real intention of coming back.
All right, guys. So just to kind of wrap it up really quickly, just I want you guys to remember you don't need the biggest sale, you just need the smartest one, right? You want to make sure you strategize. You want to know your numbers before you discount. You want to protect your profit. You want to plan your cash flow and you want to keep your offers intentional. That's like my big word is being intentional with everything that you do. Pick an offer that really like aligns with your business. Make sure it's profitable, communicate it clearly, not last minute, not in a panic. You want to plan and strategize beforehand. Black Friday should support your business, not sabotage it. But all right, guys, that's all we have for today's episode. So I really do hope that this helped. And
But thank you guys for tuning in to Scaling Beautifully. We hope today's conversation gave you clarity and confidence to keep building your beauty business the smart way. Don't forget to subscribe so that you never miss an episode. And if you love today's topic, share it with another beauty pro who's ready to scale. Until next time, keep serving your clients with passion and running your business with purpose.
if you're loving the podcast, we'd love for you to join our community beyond the audio. Head over to our YouTube channel where you can watch full video episodes and behind the scenes content. And if you want to go even deeper, check out our Patreon. That's where we share bonus training, downloadable resources, and exclusive Q&As to help you scale beautifully. You'll find the links in the show notes.